Hi, I'm Lauren, and this is Cirque Me Out. Today, in this lower body focused workout, we will target our butt and our legs. Using primarily our body weight, we will also use a dumbbell with the weight of your choice, a yoga mat, an exercise ball, and a chair or a stool. This program will target your butt and your legs, but will also give you the satisfaction of an intense full body workout when you're done. Are you ready to sweat? Let's get started. We'll start with a warm-up. We're doing 30 seconds each exercise. Exercise 1, we're going into a deep squat, kind of like in a deep second position in ballet. And once you're in this deep squat, you're going to turn to the left, 90-degree angle in both legs for a lunge. And then you're gonna come back, and you're gonna turn to the right for a lunge. Okay, we're doing this for 30 seconds. Just getting our heart rate going. After this, we'll go into forward and backward jumps, which is what we have done in previous workouts as well. Getting ready. Just gonna go into simple forward and backward jumps. And so, forward and back, this. You can breathe in through your nose and out through the mouth. Just getting our blood flowing. Going into our next warm-up exercise will be the lateral lunge. We're coming here for 30 seconds. We're not going into deep lateral lunges, not here. I want you to stay up for 30 seconds. Breath in from the nose and out through the nose as well. Coming into our next exercise, we're going into small squat pulses. What we're going to do is raise our hands and come into a regular squat. We're gonna pulse for 30. I like to put my head behind my hand behind my head. Pulsing here, just small pulses, pressing into your heels through your glutes, keeping your core engaged. Making sure your posture is upright. There. After this, we're going into a low plank. Getting ready, coming down into low plank. We're doing one of my favorites, low plank up to high plank. Alternating the arms each time. Core engaged and your bum good and tight. You want to move as one unit in this exercise. Coming down, we're going to come into our next exercise. We're going into leg backs, leg kicks. That's where you're first going to use your chair or stool or side of the couch. So we're just going to simply remain flat-footed. I'm going to take my left leg back and kick. 30 seconds. Right now we're not trying to be the most flexible we can, but we do want to get that hamstring warmed up, those hip flexors warmed up. After this, we'll switch legs. Switching legs. Again, we're not going for flexibility here, going just for a general warm-up. I do have hyperextension in my knees. It's just how my body was made. If you're here, that's totally fine. Now we're going back into low plank. On your elbows, on those forearms. We're going to tighten our bum, squeeze our thighs together, feet are together, and tap our knees. 30 seconds. Now we're going to stay in plank and just rock back and forth for 30. This should be hard. You should feel a burn. You should start getting that body temperature and heart rate up. Just a moment, stretch here really quick. Now we're going into mountain climbers. And these are also known as reverse mountain climbers. The knee is touching the opposite elbow. We really need to warm our cores up well before we do a lower body workout. Our core is very important for posture and for protection of our back. Release. Take one moment to interlace your fingers behind you. Stretch up, feet off the ground. Take one moment. Now we're coming into a deep, wide squat. Okay, so we're coming into, again, like a deuxième position, second position in ballet. Pelvis tucked under, bending. So what we're gonna do here is just do some light pulses pushing through our heels for 30 seconds. If it starts getting really hard, you can give yourself a bit of help here. Great job. Now just stay here, but press your hands on your knees. Let's turn side to side just for a second. I want you now to place your hands in the middle and roll to point. Stay here just for a second. Now we're taking the left leg forward, going into left leg lunge. Okay, just a basic lunge. We want to warm up that psoas and hip flexor. We also want to activate it now. Curl the toes under. Hands by our side. We'll go for rocks for 30 seconds. flexor to the floor. Feel a stretch. We're going to switch. Place the right leg in front. Good. Deep lunge. You can tap your knee to the ground to check your position. Warm up that psoas here. Now, press up onto the toes. Hands on both sides on the floor. Now curl those toes and we'll go for rocks for 30. Now, just stepping up, let's just stretch our hamstrings for a minute. And a pike position, feet together, bend one knee towards your nose, and then bend the other. Bend both knees, interlace your fingers, and stand up. We're now coming into a really deep squat. So I want you to reach your hands to grab around your ankle and let your bum come down. We don't want this to be a really passive position. We want it to be active, okay? We're just gonna kind of go side to side for 30 seconds. Let's go. You can place your hands on your feet as well. Up here, 3, 2, 1, stretch those hamstrings, fold over, nice forward fold. Put in rotation, so let's plant your right hand and place that left arm up. You can also add a bind. I like to bind my right leg with my left hand. Switching at your left hand. Reach the right, and let's make a bind. Grab that left leg. Now we're just going to come onto our backs. We're going to bend our right leg, bringing our heel to our bum, making it as flat as possible while we stretch and straighten the left leg. Let's stay here for 30. So, take some deep breaths. We just did a lot of exercises involving the psoas and your quads, so we'll just get those stretched before officially beginning the workout. Take some deep breaths here. Release. Going to now take the left leg, bend that to our bum. Well, then we come to the floor. We stretch the right leg nice and straight. I like to hold the straight leg with my same side arm, and we'll stay here for 30. Take some deep breaths here. Connect to the present moment before beginning the strength training. Give your legs a good shake out. You can kind of go side to side a bit. And now we're gonna start section 1 of butt and leg workout. So the first exercise in section 1 is a goblet squat with a dumbbell or any weight of your choice, whatever you have access to in the environment you are in. I'm going to take my dumbbell and place it kind of up here on my chest, okay? It's not far away from my body, it's close and controlled. I'm going to then place my feet a bit wider than hip length apart. I'm gonna turn my toes out of it. I'm going to engage my core and stick my bum out of it as if I wanted to sit in a chair. And I like to kind of tap my elbows to my thighs, and that's a good range of motion for me. We're gonna do 15 times, okay? Let's go. 2, keep your core engaged. 3, 4, push through your heels, activate your glutes. 5, 6, 15 for the last one. We're gonna pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come up to demi point. Hold demi point for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. We're switching to exercise number 2. This one we're going to do a single leg elevated split squat. So here we're going to use a stool or a chair, and we are going to use the dumbbell. So if I am having the weight on my right side, the right leg will be forward. We're going to place our left foot, left toes, on an elevated surface behind us. And when you bend your knees, you want to have a good 90-degree angle of both legs. You can straighten the arm, the opposite arm, out, and we'll start. We'll go for 12. That's 1, 2, engage your core. 12, switching sides. Make sure your chair doesn't slip, it can be dangerous. Okay. So I switch the dumbbell to my left side because the left leg is forward. Let's go for 12. Great job. Going for exercise number 3. We're going to come into a wide leg squat. This one is free of weight. A wide leg squat, well, just toes slightly turned out and feet are wider than hip length apart. We're coming into a squat and into a curtsy lunge. Okay, curtsy lunge is kind of like your basic lunge, only what we do is we kind of curtsy, what the name comes from. You should not be allowing your knee to come over your toes. The real key is to keep that knee in alignment and not to over twist. We just want to twist slightly, okay? So we're going to do 8 on each side, so 16 total. Let's start. Great job. So you can repeat this section now 2 to 3 times, depending on what kind of burn you want. We'll move on to section 2 after. For section 2 of this workout, we're starting with a front squat. It will feel similar to the goblet squat. We're just going to have our feet a little bit closer together, a little less wide. The weight is still going to be in your front, okay? So we're gonna go for 15 as well. Try to keep a constant pulsation. I'm not totally standing up after, and I'm pushing through my heels to activate my glutes. I think that was 8. 13, engage your core. 14, 15, I want you to come down and pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up to dinner point again. Good job for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down. Now we're going to do something called a sumo deadlift. A sumo deadlift is when the weight is in front of you. Ideally, you have access to a barbell in a gym, but if you don't, that's totally fine. I'll show you how I do it with the dumbbell. I'm going to turn my feet out. I have a wide stance in my feet. And with the sumo deadlift, you're gonna grab your weight with alternating hands, okay? So we wanna make sure that we're going to do one set with the hands gripped this way, one set with the hands gripped this way as well, to make sure to keep balance. We go for 12. So I'm going to bend and grab my weight, and I wanna keep this weight as close to me as possible. So I don't wanna come out here. I almost wanna like draw exactly where my tibias are, where my thighs are with it. We go for 12, and we'll switch and do 12 again. Switching sides and switching grip. Come down, grab your weight. And let's go for 12. 10, 2 more. Great job. All right, now we're going to do reverse lunges. We can use a dumbbell, or we can do without weight as well. I'm going to do mine with the dumbbell. I'm going to place it as well in front. So I'm going to start standing on my left leg, lifting the right. You should work your balance here, stepping back, and coming up. We're going for 10. All right, again, on the other side. Great job. I want to connect that directly into the final exercise for this section. We're going to do single leg hip thrusts. So lay on your back, bend your knees to your bum. You can straighten your arms. Make sure that you can touch your hands to your heels. That's a good position. Then walk your feet in a little bit more narrow. And now we're going to lift the left leg in the air. I like to point my toe. I'm going to lift up for 10. One and hold, flex the foot. And as you roll to point, control your descent. Lift right away the left leg. Point the toe and lift for 10. 2, 1 and hold, flex the foot. As you roll through point, control your descent. And come down. Okay, that's section 2. You can repeat 2 or 3 more times before moving on to section 3. For section 3 of this workout, we're starting it with a Swiss ball. You can also do this by elevating your feet onto a couch surface or even a table. I love it with a Swiss ball because it really gets your hamstrings. So that's what we want to do. We're going to place our feet on top of the ball, a little bit wider or exactly as wide as your hips. Going to lie down. You can kind of press lightly into your hands. I like to point my toes. We're going to do these hamstring curls with the ball. We're going for 12, okay? So 1, 7, 8, great job, push through, 9, 12, and control, 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 and hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, come down, great job. Next exercise we're coming into a tabletop position. Getting into a tabletop position, so wrists in line with your shoulders, knees in line with your hips, toes curled under. We're going to draw the left leg into our chest and extend it out, and then draw it in and extend it out. We're going for 12. Great job. I want you now to just open to the side and straighten the leg briefly. And come down. Switching sides. Make sure you're in alignment in your tabletop. Right knee coming into your chest and back up. We're going for 12. Stay here and we'll pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can have your feet pointed or flexed, all the way flexed. I want you now to turn your hip and open it. Stretch here and release. Roll out a little bit. Now we're going to use the weight and the stool. I'm going to move my stool on my mat just to make sure there's no slipping going on. So we're going to do some elevated hip thrusts. So the goal is, this might be a tiny bit too high for me, but it's what I have access to. We don't have a gym right now, so you have to be a bit creative with your space, but make sure that you're being safe. I'm going to place the weight on my hips, okay? And the goal with these hip thrusts is you do not want to be looking up to the ceiling. This kind of defeats the purpose of the exercise. We want to isolate and work really only our glutes here. So you need to keep your gaze forward. Okay, you want to kind of guide your weight so it doesn't fall or slide. Engage your core. Gaze is forward. You want to push and this on. 12. Great job. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come down. Safely place your weight down and come out. Great job. You can repeat that section another 2 or 3 times before moving on to the cool down. We're starting the cool down or finisher for this exercise. We're still going to use the dumbbell for one last finishing touch. I want you to step into a very wide squat. Keep your pelvic floor tucked in. And we're going to take the weight and let it come down in front of us, so straight arms, okay? Again, keeping it very close to your body, not far from you. We're going to plie, we're going to deep squat, and we're going to pulse here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. And I want you to come to demi-point, and down, and come to demi-point, and down. Last one, come to demi-point, and stand back up. Great job. Now, we're going to do a real cool down now. So we first want to make sure that our calves got to work out. So we want to slightly turn our toes out. I like to do almost everything in a turnout. So we're going to turn our toes out. We don't have access to a ballet bar or a wall right now. So you really need to rely on your good posture, your good ballet technique. If you've done ballet, you know to keep your plancher pelvic, your plancher really tucked in. Me, with my very flexible back, I've tended to have a posture like this since I was very young. And with my ballet training, I was able to train how to activate this. I think it very much improved my posture over the years. So we're going to do calf raises, okay? You need to make sure your posture is good. Place your hands on your hips, or if you have access to a ballet bar, on a ballet bar. We're going to do 32 calf raisers for 2. That's 10. 19, 20, that's 20. That's 30, final 2, and 1, 2, and hold. Try to place yourself into a 5e position, 5th position, and relax. Ideally, if you have access to a wall or a bar, a ballet bar, you would do this one leg at a time. Really good for ankle stabilization. Just take a moment now and let's just stretch our calves for a second. Touch these heels to the floor. And our next cool down exercise, we are going to come into a deep hip flexor stretch. I want you to come onto your knees, widen your knees. You want to sit on your heels, okay? And I want you to go all the way. Try to lay down flat and keep your knees flat. This is actually a challenge for me, this stretch, which is why I like it. I try to not arch my back as much as my body just always wants to naturally arch. I try to contain that, and I try to feel the stretch through my psoas and my quads. Stay here for about 2 to 3 more breaths. Go ahead and place your hands on your tibia, sorry. I'm speaking French when I should speak English, so on your shins, okay? And I like to then place my elbows and walk my way back up. And then I'm here. Now we're going to just swing our legs forward and make a pike. Go ahead and flex those feet, okay? Because we've been just working those calves a lot. We really want to fold forward and stretch them. If you have hyperextension, now it's the time to really press those knees into the ground. Flex up and fold over. Rock side to side. And point, but point with a turnout as well. Let's try to get your knees together. Ankles separate, turn out, hyperextension. Point and fold. Now we're going into a deep lunge. So we're taking the left leg forward, the right leg back. This time we're gonna rest our knee on the floor. Let's place our hands on our thigh. Sometimes we can raise as well. Let's just stretch here. Engage your core. You don't want to be fully relaxed. We want to try to press that psoas into the floor. Now we're going to place the left hand on our left side. So you always, when you're stretching to the side in your lunge, let's do same knee that is bent is the same arm that you stretch to the side. We're going to place the right hand overhead and hang out here. Let's make some arm circles here. Coming back to neutral. I want you now to place your hands on the inside of your foot and walk that foot out. You can go past the mat as well. I want you now to activate the back leg straight. Keep the toes pointed though. Now I want you to try to do that without moving the psoas. Press that psoas down, but activate. Press. Move those elbows onto the floor. Relax the knee down. I want you to now come up and you're going to turn towards your left leg. Kind of turn towards. You should feel a really good stretch here. That's where I do, that's for sure. Reach up for one. Coming back down. And coming back to neutral. Regular lunge here. I want you to reach up and bend the back knee to your bum. Grabbing with both hands. Now switch to grabbing only with the left and place the right elbow on the floor, turning out that left knee. Hang out here. Coming back to a neutral lunge again. We're now going to straighten the front leg, flex the front toes, and fold forward. And fold forward again. The toes, we're going to just do a brief split. I'm going to flex my back foot to try to really stretch that back hip flexor. My hip flexors are the tight part of my body. I have very loose areas and very tight areas. That's one of my challenges. Really important to stretch well after a leg workout, especially if you are an acrobat or you are a contortionist. We have to do both. We have to strengthen and we have to stretch. Good job. I want you now to bend the left leg. We're coming into a pigeon pose. Again, trying to put that psoas on the floor. Come on and place your forehead onto the palms of your hand. Try to just relax here. Again, you want to make sure you're very aligned in this pigeon. You can bend the back leg as well. You can hook it into your elbow and come up. Grab. You can do the other side as well. Grabbing here. can see how tight the psoas can be at times. Really try to stretch that out. Okay, now we're going to do everything we just did, but on the right side. So we're coming into deep right lunge, right leg forward, touching that back knee to the mat, hands onto the thigh. Engage your core, but also try to relax and press that psoas into the floor. Place your arms up. Let's go ahead and place that right palm to the floor and reach over with the left arm. Do some circles. Now coming to center, I want you to place your hands inside your foot and walk that foot out to make it nice and wide. Going through, now think about pressing that left leg in the back straight while keeping those toes pointed. Lower, let's do it again and try to press our psoas to the floor. And coming with our elbows onto the ground, stay here for just a moment. Can move around a bit. Coming back up now, can bring our foot in. Let's do, I think now we turn towards our leg. Excuse me, turn towards our leg now. Just open up here. You should feel a good stretch as you're here. You can draw the right arm up and over. And back down. Now coming back to a lunge. Going to bend the back knee. And grab with both hands. Switching now to just holding on with the right hand. Coming down to elbow, turning that front leg out. Releasing, coming back to neutral lunge. I want you now to straighten that front leg and flex that front foot and draw your chest to your leg. Coming back up and again. Up now. Sliding into that split. I like to flex my feet for a moment to just really square my hips, like so. And you can point. Well, you can reach forward. You can activate the back leg as well. Really important to stretch those psoas after training your legs. Going to now bend the front leg into a pigeon stretch. Again, another one that hits your psoas. Very important. Just fold forward, place your forehead onto your hands. Up. Now we're going to bend that back knee. Hook with your elbow. And you can do a mermaid leg. You can also do both hooks if you'd like. I'm not a yoga instructor, so some of my practices do have some yoga positions in them. I always kind of explore which sides I like to do. So if you do have questions about any of these positions of mine that are similar to yoga positions, it's best to ask a certified yoga instructor, like what's the absolute way to do this position? Let's go into some final cool down stretches. So what we're going to do, we're coming into demi-lotus, one of my favorite ones. You can also do a full lotus as well. I want you to place your hands to the side, full forward. And rock side to side. I had my right leg on top, so now I'm going to switch and place the left leg on top. Make sure that you're aligning knee to foot, foot to knee. And this half lotus, going to hands on the side, fold forward. Can reach forward as well. Side to side. We're now going to just come onto our backs. Going to take the right leg and fold it over, drawing the right shoulder down, left shoulder down, both arms out, and look to the opposite side. Coming back to neutral, and switch for a twist. Looking to opposite direction when the knee is pointing. Great job. Give your whole body kind of a shake. Feeling refreshed. I hope you did an amazing job. I really enjoyed showing you my lower body focused training session, and I will see you next time on Cirque Me Out.